Up next, I'm going to demonstrate an original that speaks to the fact that there is no one like our God. Coming up on Andrew's Journey in Christian Contemporary Music. Welcome to Andrew's Journey in Christian Contemporary Music, where we dive into the classics, discover what's new, and demonstrate the originals. If you're into all things Christian contemporary music, I would encourage you to hit that red subscribe button. And don't forget, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Come on, let's climb aboard. Let's do the CCM journey together. Today I'm going to demonstrate a song I wrote about 6 years ago called You Stand Alone. There are many things that make the Lord unique, and this song just brings out some of those things. Before I play and before I break the song down, I thought I'd share a little bit of what songwriters call song form. Probably the most common song form would be what's considered the verse-chorus or the verse-chorus bridge. This is where you start with a verse and the verse kind of builds, but then at the chorus, that's where you say the main thing that you want to say in the song. It's the payoff. And sometimes a bridge is added, sometimes it's not. There's another type of song form which has different types within it, and that's called the A-bass song form. An A-bass song form is where the main thing you want to say comes out right at the beginning. One of those types of A-bass song forms is what's called a triple A. Think of some of the old hymns that we've sung in the church over the last centuries. Think of Amazing Grace or Holy, Holy, Holy. Those are just two examples of what we would call triple A song form. There is another type of A-bass song form called the AABA. This is where you have two similarly structured A sections, so like verses, but then there's this B section, which is like a contrasting section where both the lyrics and the music are different or contrast to the A sections. And then the song goes back to one last A. There are different variations of this AABA. Sometimes a songwriter will do an AABABA where they'll go back and repeat the B section and the final A section again. One of the groups that was famous for doing a lot of songs in the AABA form were the Beatles. Think of the song The Long and Winding Road or It's Been a Hard Day's Night. These are just two examples of songs that the Beatles wrote that were in the AABA song form. I say all that because this song, You Stand Alone, is in that AABA song form with a little bit of a twist. I actually repeat the B section a second time before I go into the last A, and then there is a refrain at the end after the last A and into the outro. And if you're confused, don't worry about it. I'm going to demonstrate the song and you'll probably pick it up pretty easily. So here we go. The song is You Stand Alone. You stand alone, rock of ages, sure foundation, through all the generations, no equal on the earth, your name is known. In every direction, creation a reflection, your goodness clearly seen, you stand alone. You stand alone. You stand alone. Humble King sent down from heaven, pierced for our transgressions, your blood was shed for us, you left your throne, willingly became a servant, died a death that we deserved, you hung upon the tree, you stand alone. other name by which men can be saved, not in our own power, not in our own strength. Conqueror of sin, freedom from our shame. He is Jesus Christ, our Redeemer. There's no other name by which men can be saved, not in our own power, not in our own strength. Conqueror of sin, freedom from our shame. He is Jesus Christ. You stand alone, the glorious resurrection. To heaven you ascended, and death has lost its sting, the cornerstone. No other name is worthy, the greatest in all history. Together we proclaim, you stand alone. You stand alone. You are the Rock of Ages. You are the humble King, the cornerstone, the greatest. Together we will sing. You stand alone. You stand alone. You stand alone. You stand alone. Okay, so the song starts in the key of F major. However, for guitar, I place my capo on the 3rd fret. So I'm actually playing in D chord shapes. And then in the key change, which happens from the last A section to the end, I go up to from F to G. So on the capo with the 3rd fret with guitar, I go from D chord shapes to E chord shapes. So for the A sections in the actual key, it's F, B flat major 7, F, B flat major 7, F, B flat major 7, C suspended, and then that repeats for the next line, and then the last line is F, B flat, F, B flat. Now, if you're following on guitar with the capo, that would be D, G major 7 to D, G major 7 to D, G major 7 to A sus. Then that repeats for the next line, and then on the last line of the A section, it's D and G, D and G. And then the second A section, which is You Stand Alone, Humble King Sent Down from Heaven, it's the same. And then we go into the B section. So in the key of F, it's B flat over D, F, C sus, F over A, and then B flat over D, F, C sus, F over A, B flat. Then the section is repeated, and only the last line I sing, He is Jesus Christ, and then alternate between the C sus and the C. Otherwise, we don't sing Our Redeemer the second time through. So on guitar with the capo, that's so G to G over B, D, and then A sus, and then D over F sharp, back to G, da 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 da, da 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 da, D, da 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 da, A sus, my Redeemer, and then the repeat, There's no other name by which men can be saved. Not in our own power, not in our own strength. Conqueror of sin, freedom from our shame. He is Jesus. And then on that last line, Jesus Christ, it's from the A sus to the A. Again, in the actual key, it's C sus to C. And then comes the last A section, which is the key change from F to G. So it would be G and then C major 7, G, C major 7, G, C major 7, D, and then repeat. Or with the capo, it's you stand alone. A, right? A major 7, E, A major 7, E, A major 7, and then B, and then that repeats. Da, 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 da. The greatest in all history, together we proclaim, and then you stand alone. So that would be A2 with the capo, but in the actual key of G, it's G to C2. And that just keeps going pretty much until the end. It just keeps going back and forth through that last refrain. You are the rock of ages. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. You stand alone. You stand alone. And then it ends on the E or the G if you're playing it in the actual key. And that's pretty much it. It's a fairly simple song. I think you probably got the hang of the fact that there were two distinct A sections followed by that There's No Other Name B section with the contrast lyrically and musically, and then back to the A, and then the final refrain and outro. What I'm going to do is I'm going to include the lyrics down below, so if you want to go back and follow along and learn how to play the song with the lyrics, you can do so. And don't forget that you can check out my recorded music. It's on YouTube, it's on most streaming platforms. All you have to do is type in my name, Andrew Kralka, Kralka, and my music should come up. We're working on another song that I hope to have released later this year, and so I'll give you updates as we get closer to a release date on that one. And lastly, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment. If you're familiar with any of my songs that I've recorded, and maybe you would like me to do a demonstration of some of those songs, let me know and I'd be happy to do them for you. And if you have any ideas in terms of diving into classics or discovering what's new, I'd love to hear those suggestions as well. Let's be a community and just do this thing together, as I like to say. Let's do the CCM journey together. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. God bless you, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.